All right, time to add the extension tracks here at the end of the layout. So one will be the main line, one will be maintenance away siding. So just talk about what I do here. Um, First thing is loosen up the ballast, and I just spray that with water because it's just white glue. And scrape it away from around the last tie, basically. And what I'll do is I'm going to cut that last tie free, pull it out, and that'll allow the rail joiner to go in. And then I'll do the same on the new track, as I'll cut out a tie or two so the rail joiner fits. And then what I do is I shave the tie plates off of some scrap ties so I can slide them under the rail joiner and just glue them in. You'll never see the space there. Whenever you're dealing with DCC, obviously, every time you add a section, you want to tie that to the power bus underneath, just so you're not relying solely on those rail joiners. They're really more for aligning the track than conducting. Over time, they tend to get corroded. So just if you're doing DCC, obviously, drop a bus line anywhere you have a separate piece of track. And this is what it's going to look like essentially. There's going to be, this one's going to go all the way off to the back, and this one's going to stop short, and we'll put a bumper there. I had these die-cast Tomar Industry bumpers, but when they were CA glued wheel stops, and when I went to pry them off, they broke. But I've got other ones. So what I'll do is I'll paint them yellow, and then I CA glue them to the end there. That's the type I like to use. Individual wheel stops on each rail. More prototypical for contemporary railroading in general. So yeah, this is, you just spray it with a spray bottle and then you let it soak, and the stuff comes right off. I mean, because try to scrape it off dry, and it's quite a bit of effort, so why kill yourself? And then I'll just show you one of them here. Once we get enough out of the way, you just go under there with the tip of the blade. It's kind of a dull blade, but and you never know if it's at a point where there's a connection. Here on the rails, some of the ties are connected. Sometimes there's a break, so they're in sections. So I just go under there, assuming there's a connection between the ties, and I push down. Yeah, there's one there. I can feel it. Ooh. One there, I can feel it. So I'm gonna cut it. Just the tip of the razor. Try not to dislodge the rail, because that creates a problem. If you push these rail heads, they're gonna pop right out of the tie plates, and then you get an issue. This is Pico Code 83. That's what I use everywhere. So a couple passes, you could feel it go through, and I've got Homosote underneath, so the blade sinks into that. No road bed. My thinking is it's an industrial area, New England, so the road bed tends to be kind of sunken down, and the ballast gives the illusion that it's up a bit. All right, so you're gonna take your time. You don't want to. And then also check for if you use rail spikes, which I do occasionally, just until it sets. But I leave them in there. I use those really thin Pico rail spikes, so you can't see them. You just got to make sure you don't have one of those holding the tie down. And it looks like a lot of work, but it's just because I'm taking my time so I don't break something. Come on. So kind of tough to get to with just the tip of the blade. I think should be free. And what happens when you use CA glue to glue down those wheel stops is sometimes that wicks under the ties, and that makes it a bit of a challenge. So you might have to go under the tie, which seems to be the case here. Yeah, there's definitely some CA glue under there. bit of surgery here. There we go. Yeah, that was stuck on CA glue. Normally it comes out a lot easier than there. So now you see there's, then you just clear that up. When it dries, I'll make another pass and scrape away any gunk. But I have plenty of room now for joiners to slide in. And then I'll either use this tie or get a different one and just shave those plates off with the razor, tie plates. So we can get that to focus. And then it'll slide under where the rail joiners are and it'll fill that gap. You won't see it. And that's, you know, it's important because you don't want to have a big gap and it looks like a toy train and not a prototype. So what we'll do here, unsteady tripod, is I just take the, try that again. See which side I want. I want this side. So I'll take the razor and I'll just, doing this one-handed, cut it. That side's already cut. And then you just slide that off. And boom. Just put the rail joiners on and then slide the ties back under. I'll spike it down. I'll wire it. I'll put the ballast, glue it, weather it. On this side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-drill a hole so that I can move. I've got the sensor for the shuttler. You can see it in there. It's an infrared sensor for the Iowa Skilled Engineering train shuttler. So I'm going to move that probably to here. So it's always better to pre-drill so that I can just come underneath, up underneath with the sensor. So we'll get that buttoned up, and next video I'll show you how I get it detailed.